5th International BANKSETA Conference themed Invest, Educate, Empower is currently underway in Johannesburg. CNBC Africa's Masutha caught up with Makhubalo, who is the CEO of BANKSETA, and asked him how the SETA stays relevant in the ever-changing global economy.
The purpose of this conference aims to raise the profile of the training of investment bankers in South African banks by bringing international speakers, local experts, and also people who are active in the sector to discuss topical issues, and also to say what gaps are there in terms of training of people to meet the challenges and opportunities that investment banking provides to the country.
Let's just talk on the skills within the banking sector. Are a university producing quality bankers, and how do we compare with the rest of the world?
Well, one is the universities provide generic courses that are not aimed at specific niche disciplines like investment banking or banking per se. We think we need to move to the direction that other European countries have moved, to have specialized BCom banking, BCom investment banking, BCom in retail banking. That's, I think, the direction we need to go. But the reality is that banking takes people from all sorts of disciplines, not only accounting. So that's what the mistake people make. They say people have to be trained as chartered accountants, whereas banking takes people from social sciences in terms of their marketing, take lawyers in terms of risk management, and auditors in terms of those kind of things. So in a generic sense, we support both social sciences, legal, and financial, because that's really what banking is about.
How do you, as the BANKSETA, remain relevant in this ever-changing global economy?
I think we are very fortunate in that in our board and subcommittees, we have people that are in the industry currently. And we continue to do research in terms of what are the current needs, and we also benchmark ourselves internationally in terms of leading edge technologies and what our banks need to do. So we bring all that together and synthesize that into programs that we do. It keeps our programs in terms of innovation quite fresh as an offering, and the customer satisfaction survey that we run with our clients says they are 85% happy with what we do in general, which is quite high.
All right, and let's just look at the changing face of banks here on the African continent, given what we are seeing in developing markets. What do you make of it right now?
There's a huge opportunity for banking as we know it, but also banking needs to adapt to a changing paradigm of a developing continent, and of course, consumption financing will remain lucrative, but to sustain this economy, we need to find ways of funding small-scale businesses, because that's the way we're going to raise employment, fight poverty, disease, and illiteracy. And if we are to do that, it will make the banks more profitable, because the pool of people that have disposable income to save and transact with and use bank products will be increased.
What do you make of South Africa's banking industry right now? Like the Minister said a little earlier, that we were able to skip the crisis that we saw in 2008. Well, we were able to come out of it better than other economies.
South Africa came unscathed out of the past financial turmoil for two reasons. One is that our regulatory environment has been very good and robust in terms of National Credit Act, the Financial Advisory and Intermediaries Act, and those kind of things. Also in terms of our forex regime, that has really helped South Africa. But the second thing is that we also have very, very good training of our banks. People inside our banks have a longer service than you get inside banks if you look at competitive markets.
What is your vision as well as your growth plans for the next 5 years? We
aim to remain a sector body that assists the banks to transform and really fight for its niche in the economy. The financial services share of the GDP has risen from 6 to 17%, and I think it will rise as the economy becomes more tertiary in terms of more transformation. So we will need more people. but also the opportunities that the continent provides. South African banks have an opportunity to grow and integrate ourselves and the continent into our banking.
Like you say, it's all about transformation as well within the banking sector. How transformed is the South African banking sector? Has it made the right strides at this stage?
We're making the right strides. So we're one of the few sectors that have 2 female CEOs, 2 African CEOs at very senior levels within fairly big JSE-listed companies. And the growth can be better. Given that Africans are 80% of the population, we actually are not near where we should be to reflect the demographics of the country we are in.